Hey Harmonizers, welcome to this video with an update about Jack. This is the little bit of video of when he first arrived at the farm, which is totally understandable to be a little bit nervous and looking around, but you can see he's missing a good chunk of mane. That's because he's got a bunch of lice or mites there, and he's very, very skinny, which is not maybe as easy to tell in this particular video clip because it's a little bit more of an overcast, misty day, so it's kind of hiding his ribs a little bit. But you can kind of see how his withers are really sticking out, and there's not really a whole lot to his neck. As he comes a little closer to the camera and turns around, you can see his ribs a little bit more. And when he first arrived, it was really about just getting him healthy again. So this is him in the field. You can see his ribs a little bit better there because it's a sunny day, and how he's basically got no mane because of the lice and mites. And we just started feeding him a lot. So he actually got grain feedings once a day with alfalfa pellets as the main source to give him extra protein, as well as with fiber, kind of condensed food. Of course, grass out in the field, 24/7 hay, and he got treated for his lice and mites, and then he started looking a lot healthier. So this is him out in the field, and you can see he's actually looking filled out. He's actually got a butt now. Look at that. He's got a little bit of a round booty, and of course he's such a super friendly guy and comes over to say hello. I know there's a few flies out in the field right now, and that's a look at from the other side there, and looking so much better. His little mane starting to grow back in as well. He started to get to come in during summer camp for some brushing and just attention TLC, and then started a little bit of walking and in-hand work. So we really let him just kind of gain the weight first before we really asked him to start doing anything and checking out his training and things like that. So it took a little bit of time to add the weight, but I like a gradual, safe process of adding the weight and not giving them way too much grain all at once, because they also need the right gut microbes to digest that, and they can end up with other issues. So instead, using the alfalfa pellets keeps things going really well. So then we started introducing the saddle and kind of checking out his training. He was trained as a riding horse before, and so it was just a matter of kind of getting him going again under saddle. This is Katie here that's doing the riding work with him because, as you guys know, I am currently pregnant, so not wanting to do any of the riding miles myself. And so she's just working with him on the mounting block here, and we take things really slow and easy going. All of the horses that I start here are in halters because my philosophy is that if your horse is understanding the cues and relaxed on the ground with the halter, then it keeps everything the same for when you go into the saddle. So sometimes people have this interesting notion that you need a bit when you get into the saddle because you don't have control. But if you can control or communicate with your horse well enough on the ground in the halter, why not in the saddle? So it's just a matter of knowing the different techniques and how to use different things. So this is her first time getting on to go for a ride by herself, and for whatever reason Jack decides to back out of the mounting block first, but not in a scary way, just in kind of a confused way. So that was a little thing to work on and teach him different things. And then this is his very first ride with Katie riding him on her own in the arena. Of course, we started with a little bit of her getting a pony ride and just making sure everything was okay. And because he is a senior gelding, I think he's 18, and just getting back into work with having many, many years off from his owner, his previous owner, not being able to care for them and do different things with them. I'm not really sure what the circumstance was, but I didn't ask too many questions. And so because of those reasons, to me, it's important that the work starts very slowly and gradually. So the rides in the beginning were literally, I don't know, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, like really, really short, not wanting to put too much weight on his back for too long, and just more focusing on getting him moving and checking for his understanding of different things. You can see here steering through the little pole pattern. So he clearly, like this being the first ride with Katie, he clearly knew things already. It just is a little rusty from not doing things in a long time. Of course, starting on the ground helps with a lot of that stuff. And it's nice in our arena because we have lots of different things out and available to explore. And it gives little options of things you can try with the horses. And there are other horses in the arena. People can have different philosophies on that. Some people like to do things with no other horses in the arena. I sometimes like to do stuff with other horses in the arena because it gives a very calm energy for what's going on. And you can see there he kind of was blowing out a little bit, which is relaxing a little bit more. And although I don't like to have horses follow other horses all the time, because then they're not developing trust and communication with the rider, they're kind of more feeding off of the other horses. I just think that with all the well-trained, super calm and relaxed horses going around, it can just really help make sure the whole vibe of the ride goes really, really well. And you can see Jack's just really great at stopping, standing still. He's not really stressed there. Then Katie's offering him a cookie from the saddle, and he's kind of like, what? Oh, we still do this in the saddle as well? So it's all part of kind of the learning process for him. So that was a little look at his first ride with Katie, and then here's a little look further along into the training, being patient at the mounting block and just kind of helping him get to the right spot. Sometimes people think you always have to get on the horse from this particular side of the mounting block. And I always encourage people, especially when the horse is just kind of learning, they're not super experienced, try not to be super picky like that, because then it's very hard for the horse to always find your correct answer, because your answer is very specific. So here, for example, he's pointed in the correct direction. He's not stuck in the corner. So why not get on him at the side of the mounting block? Why wait for him to be at the front of the mounting block? And you can see like he's not upset or anything like that. He's okay in that little spot. So of course you want to make sure that your horse is at a place in their training where they're going to be okay to be there, kind of in the corner like that. He gets his little cookie for standing still while she gets on. And then here you can see him going for a little bit of the ride, things going really well and more smoothly. So getting him to go around the arena both directions, practicing being in the arena by himself or with other horses are all different things that we focused on. And definitely his first several rides was just walking only to make sure that we were working on developing his back strength again, making sure that we were focusing on relaxation, that we weren't asking too much of his legs and his body after just kind of getting back into a good weight. And then starting to do some trot, just doing a little bit there, asking him to stop. And Katie realized, okay, he's got really good brakes. And, you know, I always tell people, be kind to yourself when you're learning to get to know a horse that you're not familiar with. It might look a little choppy and not super beautiful when you get started. And it's just a matter of figuring out each other's buttons and learning the different pieces. So after she spent a little bit of time working with him, things started to get smoother, working on the go, the stop, the slow down, the steering with all of these pieces. All really good parts to work on. And of course, still keeping his sessions really short to make sure that we're not on his back for too long, making sure we're gradually building up his muscle strength. It's one of those things, just the same way as people building muscle are starting to do an exercise program. It's great to start exercising and working out, but if you do too much all at once, you can be quite sore to the point that you really don't want to do a whole lot for several days. It can take your muscles a really long time to recover. So we'd rather give him many shorter experiences of having good rides, positive experiences, rather than doing a really long ride, making him sore, and then maybe not being so grateful to see us. Because he's not really going to understand that we're trying to get him into better shape. He wouldn't really understand that part. So we want to make sure that he stays feeling good through the whole process. So here's a little bit of him doing some more of the pole weaves and turns and up over the bridges. There's summer camp chaos going on in the background there, which is just great to make sure that he's good with the busyness, the noises, all that kind of stuff, walking by the Liverpool there. Now, the Liverpool was something that he found challenging, so I'm going to show you a little bit of his no footage. So this is Jack saying no. And what I love about it is he's just very politely standing there like, no, don't really think I'm supposed to cross this or go over it. You almost can't tell if he's scared of the Liverpool or just confused that he's being asked to go over, because he's not doing typical scared horse things. Like he's not pooping out of diarrhea, fear pooping that horses do sometime, or sometimes horses really fidget, or they start to try to back away or turn side to side, like they do something when a little bit more, usually when they're scared. Sometimes they can shut down and freeze in place, but he's still blinking, chewing, all of those pieces. So we end up having me lead Katie across the Liverpool, which was really no big deal. He just kind of walks across it. It's almost like he needed to understand, oh, okay, like we do these things. Like this is a legit request that I'm being asked to do. And then I give Katie back her reins so that way she can then ask him to go over. And here's a little look at how that goes. And I loved the way he was saying no, because it kind of showed what I think what a safe horse he is, because different horses, just like people, can express themselves in different ways. Some people express themselves very exuberantly, and their no is very big and dramatic and many words. And the same is true for horses. No's can be, no, I don't want to do this, stomping, little rears or all sorts of stuff. Like they just can say no in different ways. Whereas he's just super chill, laid back, like, yeah, I don't really think I'm supposed to do this right now. And then it was very easy to help him figure out to go over at the Liverpool, get his cookie, and you can see it all ended really well there. And then this is just a little bit more of his trotting work. So Katie was doing all sorts of different types of trotting with him. She was doing slow trot, fast trot. She did sitting trot. She did posting trot. She was doing some transitions, making sure, trying to get the halts, to be a little bit smoother, because they could be a little bit abrupt. And then of course some backups and go forwards. And all in all, he's doing really, really well. And I'll be sharing with you guys some more updates as he went along. Thanks for watching.
Remember to subscribe and check out harmonyhorsemanship.com for even more learning.